Today, we are being a force, and we are welcoming the ear of the horse. And when there's an unintentional rhyme happening, take it from me, a poet. That's divine intervention for you. Today, I'm gonna be that divine intervention for you. Let me try it. Give me a chance. And we are gonna talk about last steps, final crossing line and leaving everything that was meant to stay behind and preparing for that speed run of the horse that is coming very soon. And I'm gonna walk you through some steps I took that did illuminate everything I needed to understand a long time ago. And we are gonna hold that thought while I read a quotation from our favorite psychologist here, Carl Jung. Loneliness does not come from having no people around you, but from being unable to communicate the things that seem important to you. Loneliness is rarely about empty rooms. It is about carrying words you cannot say and truths you do not feel safe to share. Healing is learning to speak what matters most so you are no longer alone with it. This is the work of letting yourself be seen and known for who you really are. I think this is the theme of this year, honestly. The snake has been very illuminating. The slaps in the face have been very sobering and needed. But what this quotation does say about what we're here to discuss actually is, this is the end of staying silent, of ignoring our needs, of letting other people have more chances than they ever deserved, and obviously never changing because here we are. And I know for a fact that you know what I mean, and you've already got few and more than a few associations and situations you've been going through and gone through. So, this is going to be our comfort zone, our sonic space where we are going to talk about it. You can share anything you want to share as well in the comments, in reviews. On my website, you will be able to contact me as well. So, let's talk. Welcome to Ivan's in between space, where we claim sonic space, where our voices are heard, amplified, and we meet our most leveled up twins. And we do what we were always meant to do. And we shed exactly as this year was meant for us to do everything that was unnecessary, that wasn't us, and all those internalized voices and ideas that were never ours to claim. We are staying and propelling ourselves to where we are actually meant to go. Now, let's talk, about chances and about giving chances. Because this year, one of my main lessons, and from whatever I've been getting, it's not just my lesson actually, it's a collective lesson. And we are talking about the collective here. I realized I have given far many chances. And I started this year, like, I'm gonna share the situation, and this is just gonna be a metaphor for the whole year, and just go beyond what I'm saying. Like, go beyond the actual situation. I started this year with a very, like, I didn't start it like intentionally with that mindset. It just happened. I started this year with giving a chance to a certain someone. And I was okay for our history, for the moments we've been through together, and saw everything from each other, like at every moment, basically. So I started with giving a chance, and I started with a warning where I set a boundary. Um, for the situation. I was giving a chance. And let's keep it vague just enough so you can be as easily absorbed into the story and see it from your lens, your perspective, and recognize your story in this. I started it with giving a chance and a warning. 1 week later, the warning wasn't listened to, my expectations weren't met, and I was let down again. Um, and this was the third time now. Like, I started this year with giving a chance for the third time. That wasn't appreciated. So, what I did call myself a fool at first, and now I have learned and refrained and know that we are learning and growing. And here we are learning and growing every single day. We aren't dumb. Um, no dummies here. Please exit if you feel that way. So I was angry at myself for allowing myself to do this and fall into that situation again. And then I made a promise to myself. I will not ever, like, next time it happens, because there's gonna be a next time and I'm not gonna initiate it yet again. I am not gonna give any chances anymore. Half a year passed, even more than that. And what I was anticipating happened. But the person used, like, this was not even that big, but they used some kind words. They contacted me actually under the pretext, oh, like congratulating me on something. And then they were like, oh, I'm actually in a very bad position in my life. Something happened. I have so much to tell you. And what did I do? I was like, oh, okay. And I agreed to meet yet again. And in my mind, I was, our shared history. For the fourth time now, our shared history. And my love, for that person, like for their place in my life in general. Now I know that was just an illusion, and I'm gonna walk you through how I actually confirmed it for myself finally, which was there all along. Um, but I did give a chance. I was like, yeah, sure. I did give the same warning. Now, I gave the same warning I gave in the beginning of the year. And I said, I'm agreeing to meet. We're going to talk, whatever. But here's the warning. And then the next day, can you guess what happened? Yeah, I did feel like a fool again. Once again. Again, again, again. Fourth time now. Who's to blame here? That person for just completely being deprived. We're gonna blame that person for being deprived. But the actual most at fault was me for ignoring my boundary that I set for myself and for giving a chance yet again when I already saw that that's not working. But that person was, they said some stuff, and I believed the words. I believed the words, and that was my mistake. Anyways, after that happened, I did see someone recently say that how you deal with passive aggressiveness is you actually start calling it out and then watch the person scramble, not know what to say, and just being taken aback, just not knowing how to react. And what did I do? I actually did, because at this point that seemed like a passive aggressiveness I didn't deserve, as well as not respecting commitments and promises. So I did call it out. I did ask, do you have a problem? And I was met with, no, I will compensate. I will make it up. I promise. And that person disappeared again. That was their last message. I will make it up. No. And I am not gonna sit here and wail and talk about how unfair this was. I'm actually grateful this happened. I'm grateful now I got it confirmed for the fourth time. And if I needed something to be confirmed four times, maybe I am, not maybe, I did deserve it. But the general theme, I think, is that we this year have deserved situations like that. And in deserve, let's define deserve here. We do deserve to actually see the reality for what it is. We do deserve to know where we stand in our own lives as well as other people's. We do deserve to know clearly if people are going to respect our boundaries, what we say. We do deserve to not be living in an illusion where it's going to hurt even more when that illusion inevitably just shatters when you actually need a person, actually. And they just don't reciprocate and have other better stuff to do because they don't need you at that time. This also goes back to the quotation about loneliness from Carl Jung and how, it actually stems from the fact of not voicing out our own needs, our own opinions, our own issues we have. And this, for me and for all of us, I claim it, this has been the end. This is the end of staying silent and showing more compassion than people actually deserve. So, going back to that situation, this week I actually had time to journal. And if that's going to be actually a useful idea, let me bring it up to you. I did read a book recently that is called The Book of Alchemy, if I remember correctly. And it did talk about a challenge that people did, and that was very healing for them, where it's basically like a 100-day challenge where you commit to any activity that you like, you want to be productive, or you haven't found time for, but you commit for even like 10 seconds, you commit to that activity. And that book actually did talk about journaling and how after 100 days of doing and writing and journaling, even if it's one sentence, at the end, people do feel fulfilled. People do feel like they've achieved something. And even though every day might not be a productive one and getting the result that you want, and this might not doesn't only apply to writing, right? But I'm talking about journaling in this specific case. It does leave you with a sense of fulfillment when you actually complete it, and you can look back and see that you've done a lot of stuff, and you have tangible results just by starting small and committing to an ounce of time every single day doing what you've actually committed to. And you're also proving to yourself that you can respect your wishes, and it's like also soothing and taking care of yourself. Anyways, I did start doing that. And because I do like to psychoanalyze, I do like to evaluate overall situations that have happened. I did have the inkling and inner drive to actually start writing and put, finally, I've been meant to do that for so long, actually, to put in writing the stuff, the qualities of that person, the stuff I did for them, but they never did for me. And just, keeping a tab. And that is not to say, oh, you should be master manipulator using everyone and just seeing what everyone can give you and you can get from them and keeping tabs on if they return the gesture. That's not what we're doing here. What we are doing is not being taken advantage of. Keeping tabs on how much effort and energy you've put into a person, and if you actually already have the need to start, weighing the scale, then you know that you have been building a sense in yourself that your needs are getting met, that you are not communicating what you need, that you're not bringing up a problem that has been growing, and that you have been taken advantage of. Anyways, that was very refreshing because there were probably like 5 pages, I think 5 pages in total, and most of them were situations, that I witnessed that this person treated other people, not just me, that I've been there, that they've treated them in a chaotic, non caring, rude, entitled way. And I had such a revelation. I was actually shocked because by that point I was letting everything slide because I did think we had a genuine connection with that person. And I was like, this person is just like that. It's fine. Um we accept each other with our negative traits and our positive traits. But this is a little bit romanticized, I've come to find. And yeah, when you should get used to stuff that might bug you a little bit, but that are not fundamental in your friends and people you spend time with. But when you actually start feeling used and completely taken advantage of and actually not getting anything in return and barely even getting time, then, accepting each other with all your imperfections might become a burden for you because you're the only one getting the short end of the stick, always. Anyways, this was very refreshing. So, what I'm advising you to do is also ending this year, and you're gonna have time, especially these days, to take a pen and a paper. I find that to be more getting more out of me in situations like that instead of digital Microsoft Word or Pages, whatever. Pages, the app on Mac. So I do recommend you to do a little reflection, and it might not be just about the person and the positives and negatives. Just do a little reflection on situations, on how you feel. Get in touch with yourself and what you have deep down here, and that has been screaming for the past year. Because when I did that, the revelations were just. I actually felt like I saw the light. Finally, I realized I never needed that person, actually, especially with the tendencies and they have been showing, not just to me, to other friends that they have shit talked and then they have gone back to. And then you think, oh, but we have a better connection. So that's not gonna happen. Well, actually, even if they don't talk shit about you, they're gonna disrespect you in some way. And it might not be public, it might not be bad, it might not be overt. It's just the feeling you are building up by ignoring your needs that is gonna materialize in one way or another eventually. So I am glad I am here to congratulate us into finishing this cycle finally and entering our new eras. Congratulations. I have, what I'm gonna advise you as well to do, because that's what I'm doing. Just update stuff and getting that vibration that is reminding you every day that you are a changed person, because now I am. And I'm glad. I really am glad. I am thankful. And going back to the journal, actually, I did that not just for one person. I actually did it for several few ones, that are not in my life anymore. The enlightening experience that is, I really promise you, you will see so many situations for what they are. And I did see like how I invested so much energy and love into situations that didn't call for it, when it wasn't that genuine and mutual from those other people. And at those points where I was deluded, let's say that, I did see it as, I'm doing enough, I'm not doing too much. And I just wish we keep it that way, as if everyone stays connected. But the thing actually is, I needed to go through that to now know and see exactly where my boundaries are. Like, it's been crystallized, it's been made clear, clear, clear now. It's been washed off all the gunk, everything that I was kind of letting slide, writing everything down completely, helped me respect my conviction already that I don't need people like that. The attachment is gonna be, it's gonna be sad to let go of, but that's just what it is. It is attachment and nothing else. You will realize, like me, if you do that or you don't, reality and the universe is gonna slap you good. So you do. See the light? You will realize that this seemingly stable conditions you find yourself in and you want to keep were actually just convenience, never had the qualities you are looking for, never had the actual energy you need back. And that's what we're here to let go of. Surrender, let go, send back everything that you don't deserve and you don't need. I did realize, at the time I didn't feel used. I don't feel used even now. It's more so feeling slightly angry for always showing your gratitude to people that never deserved it, always giving to people that when you need them, when you are in a very important life changing situation, they're not going to be there for you. And that's also the thing, because I did go through a lot of life changing situations, moves, that really does trigger people. And if it's not moving, it's going to be something else. It's going to be whatever success. And even if it's so little in your head, if in their head they didn't do it, they're gonna start feeling uncomfortable and they're gonna take it out. on you in some way, even if it's just by not showing up. And we don't need energies like that. We don't need energy harvesters. We don't need love harvesters that, they just harvest, use, and throw out. We are not doing that here. And please do reevaluate, write, and see how many stuff come up and how many gestures and how many situations you have gone above and beyond, and if you feel content with what you received overall. Anyways, turning over pages does require for you to stay in your new high vibration and everything surrounding you reminding you of the changed person that you are, being very firm in not going and reverting back to old habits at all, because the year of the horse, and this is knowledge from astrology, everything, I've heard as well, whatever you show up as in 2026, you will stay but multiplied. So we have taken the time, because we are smart, we have taken the time to kick out all the rubbish that has been masked very well for the past years and cycles. But this year was a 9 year, basically a year of ending cycles. And next year, it is gonna be a 1 year starting new cycles. And we do want to start them and be propelled in the exact environment, vibe, aesthetics, and messages we want to give and receive. And I am going to end this with a few other hermetic axioms that I had the luck of encountering in the book called The Kabbalion, and which is contains ancient wisdom. The authors are said to be the three initiates. I think it's the three initiates, but basically the author is unknown, but it does contain a lot of wisdom. So here I'm gonna give that wisdom to you because I appreciate you stayed until the end and committed to finishing your transformation and meeting your most leveled up twin. So I think I'm gonna read 3 of the 7 axioms, and we can talk more about it later about the other ones as well. But one that does very much align with what we're talking about is change your vibe, change your tribe. To shift your mood, shift your mental frequency. Will directs attention, and attention changes vibration. It's more important than ever to commit to this and change your vibe, because this does send waves that are gonna attract exactly what you send out. And we are not sending any old habits and unproductive actions and behaviors we've allowed and done. The next axiom I did want to mention is the mental transmutation, which is the alchemy of the mind. True hermetic transmutation is a mental art. Influence your environment by mastering your mental state. And the last one, which does relate to this and I'm going to explain, is the all is mind. The universe is mental. Understanding this allows you to influence reality through mental power. Just before you have the unfortunate impulse to say this is completely unproductive, abstract, yada yada yada. I will stop you there. I will. Please give it a chance. I will say that everything we see, everything that is around us, it has been first in our minds. This book does talk about that. And the imagination, the dreams, the unconscious, the vividness and vastness of the human mind that is so far from actually being explored still by science. We do need to realize everything we see, the chair, the table, everything, I guess, excluding nature, has been first in the mind of someone and then it transferred into our reality, into the 3D, into our real life. And not everything you touch is the end all. Actually, everything starts with the mind, and the last manifestation is actually the physical reality you see. So let's commit, to our changed vibe, our changed vibrations, and I will ask you to send good energy here. Subscribe, please. Share um, the episodes and everything you see. Please comment. Please give a thumbs up. Give a nice review and follow if you're listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, because it does give me traction. You're gonna hear more of me. You are sending good energy and receiving good karma. So we are building our karmic footprint together here. If you want to see more of me or chit chat with me one on one, you can visit my websites and links. That will be in the description box and everywhere else you can find me. Thank you for listening, for watching, for committing in this journey together with me, because we did need it and it's been a long time coming. And I am ready to welcome it with you. So see you in the next one. Bye, guys.